and welcome to Casual Buddhism. I'm so happy to be here today with Venerable Dhammananda Pikani, Thailand's first fully ordained Theravada nun. And I am delighted to have one of my favorite people on the planet, James, here with us today. And welcome back, James. I know you've been here a couple of times, so I'll just go ahead and pass it along to you since you know the ropes. Go ahead and get started.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
No, I think James, you need to give a little background in case the new audience, who have not met James in the first time, just two or three lines of your background.
Thank you, Venerable.
Let's see. I have been studying mindfulness meditation for a long time. I first sat in the late 1980s. Wow. But it was inconsistent. But over the last 12 years have had a very dedicated practice and have been deepening my practice because I found it so rewarding and connecting and life-changing. And so, and I'm continuing to deepen it in studies and also teaching mindfulness. But I'm also deepening my knowledge and my experience of Buddhism much more clearly, and I'm dedicated to my practice within the Buddhist philosophy and teaching. So.
And Venerable, in case you maybe not know, both James and I are in a program together called Dedicated Practitioners Program at Spirit Rock. And he was speaking about that too.
Very good. Very good.
Yes. And actually, as part of that, the topic, when I knew I was coming, I was thinking about how to use this time, and the thing that came up for me was around renunciation, letting go. I think I've been round and round on these topics many times, and I think I'm reaching new levels of both understanding and challenges.
And to discover that there is more of the not knowing.
That is so true. Yes. Yes, it is so true. And I think where I find myself now is really experiencing my my own suffering, my own distress, sometimes my own dissatisfaction with how I'm committed to the idea of who I am in the world as I want people to see me. In work settings, and partly my age, in a culture where at my age, there's an expectation that you have reached a certain level of success or renowned, or yeah, and also to even in spiritual community, of course, spiritual community has hierarchies too, and I'm fascinated and sometimes quite discouraged at my seeing how important it is to me, how hard it is for me to sometimes even see that I'm locked in this idea of how other people see me. And it just keeps coming up.
Let me share with you, James, my problem. Someone died in our community. Towards the last few years of her life, she's just staying with us, we paid everything for her, and as she gets sick, less and less she was less and less able to contribute to the temple. And she was kind of, how to say, arrogant. She was kind of arrogant about it, and not respectful at all. I had trouble with her inside, I really had trouble with her. And now suddenly she died. And no relatives want to take care of her. So we have to handle all her ceremony, all her funeral. In Thailand, we cremate. But James, to die, you have to have money. To tell you the truth, even if you tell the temple, we don't have crematorium in our temple, so we have to depend on other temple. We tell them that this is sopไม่มีญาติ meaning that this dead body has no relative. Even then, you need at least 15,000 to cover all the rest, starting from the coffin, starting from the labor of people coming to lift up her body, all that. So I was trying to find, how can I remember this person feeling good? I tried to find what is good about her, which was very hard, which was very hard. And then after she's gone, one day, this happened only last week, so it's very recent, very recent. So I was sitting in my bed, and as I turned towards the southern direction, I look at the wall, and the southern wall of my bedroom is painted blue. My room is very strange, painted in different colors. But that southern wall is painted in blue, and it was this woman who painted it. That was first time I recognized, oh, here, she left something good for me to remember her in a wholesome way, in a good way, So, even this little thing seems to be little things, seems to be small things, James, but it got stuck in me of not being able to think of her in a good way. I'm sorry to say that. So for me to be able to think of her in the good little thing that she did is healing for me. Is healing for me. So at least, I can feel good about her. How can, is it possible that a person whom you think about, you cannot think of anything good about her? Now, not the ability or the inability to think of someone, something good about other person, you really have problem. So I told myself, Dhammananda, you really have problem. You talk about letting go, letting go. Yes, I have to let go. I have to let go, and I have to feel good. I have to feel good about this particular person, about this relationship I had with her, So when I actually saw the wall painted by her, that was the first piece of jigsaw puzzle that kind of allowed me to let go. You see, it's a small thing, but it is a big thing for me. I see that my practice needs a lot of letting go. See, as Cindy told me that you want to talk about renunciation, I said that is going to be difficult because I'm not renunciated yet. So this little, James, it is these little things, seems to be little things, but to be truthful to yourself, you still have that clinging, clinging in a negative way, clinging in a positive way. It's all clinging, and that clinging will be binding for us to come back again. We don't want to come back again. No, we are preparing our path for renunciation. So we have to be able to let go, even with these little things, So that is my sharing for this week. And now James can feel a little bit loosen up, maybe,
Well, actually, I do feel, I felt my heart open up more. I'm sorry for the experience of your community and a loss. And I really appreciate you sharing the journey with being with this person who was difficult and then seeing something. And there are certainly people who I sometimes near that are very challenging and difficult for me. And I understand that completely. immediately. And something that I realized actually with my work on looking at how to send loving kindness to someone like that, how to send compassion to somebody like that, was that when I got some distance, what I could see was that I was getting really angry at them about how awful they were. And in my situation, what I then discovered was that what in fact was true was that it was my own struggle about how I was seen.
Mm.
And I felt like this person was affecting how I was seen. And then, but it was really me. It was really my struggle, thinking that they were changing a view of me, or they were changing a perception of me. And then I would fall back into, well, why do I care? And that's where the battle starts. Because I could sit in that wisdom, but then I feel myself clinging, like you're saying, I feel myself pull back. Go, no, this is really important. Yeah. There's so much reinforcement for that. And yet, it's interesting because when you say like you were looking for that thing, that person when you saw the blue wall, for me, and it's actually, I'm discovering that part of this journey in this about letting go for me is seeing the things about myself that I dislike, and that I'm really struggling with what I don't like about myself, and fearing that it's being seen. And there are times when I have to try to find that blue wall in here and really struggle with it. That, gosh, that makes this journey tough, you know? It really does. Yeah. Yeah, and that's sort of my path in renunciation right now, is just it's I guess the best way to describe it is I'm discovering just how much my own actions and thoughts are causing me to suffer.
Yes, yes, yes. And sometimes, we talk about forgiveness. Sometimes it is hard for us to forgive others. But yet, when we truly look into ourselves, we ourselves have done also many mistakes. And we have to live with it. The fact that we have to live with it is, in a way, that we have to forgive ourselves. So this forgiving others, forgiving ourselves is very important, because you need the space. You need the space within. If there is no space because you do not forgive that one, and you do not forgive what I did in the past, so many things I did in the past that I didn't like, then there is no space. There is no space in your heart to continue to allow good things to happen. So forgiveness is also letting go. You're not holding it in your hand. Letting go means open your palm and let things go. You forgive others, you forgive yourself, to allow yourself to have more space for this positive vibration, to be able to be able to be active, so to say. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, this is a beautiful, positive vibration that's happening right now. Thank you. Thank you, James. Thank you, Venerable.
Thank you
And
so much.
really wonderful conversation. Sometimes I need to listen twice to really understand. So thank you both. And we will not be here next week for Casual Buddhism, because
Oh, well, James should know, no? James should know that Cindy is coming to Thailand for ordination.
oh yes,
It's a temporary ordination for 9 days. It will happen on December the 5th.
yes, yes. I am going to, as they say, renunciate for a period of time.
For 9 days. For 9 days.
Yes.
Thank you. And I always look forward to seeing you, Venerable, and we'll be back again. So have a good morning or a good evening, as the case may be. Thank you.
Bye,
Cindy,
James.
thank you so much.